Hey everybody, welcome to the first instructional video, Finding a Book I Will Like. This is our 6th unit, and it is a book choice unit. You make the choice. I am not choosing for you this time. We all will be reading different books. So your goal will be finding a book that you want to read. Have your packet out as we start this video, and you'll be taking some notes on it, and it might be easier to just do it as we go. So how will you know that you like a book? There's a couple different things I'll give you to think about as we look at books, whether you have read a ton of books or whether you have not read a ton of books. There's some things we all can be familiar with that will help us, okay? Couple things to keep in mind. Your book needs to be at least 150 pages long. It has to be at your Lexile. I will tell you what that is. It has to be a book you have not read before. This is not a rereading book unit. It is choosing a new book unit. And it should be a book that's interesting to you. As you look in your packet, you're going to be with this book for about 4 weeks. So you're going to want to enjoy what you're reading and want to participate to set yourself up for success. So Lexile, and how do you find out what yours is? What a Lexile refers to is reading ability and text difficulty. Okay, it's from the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. It's not some kind of wacky small organization of somebody out on a fringe off the grid. It's on everything. It's on any kind of print, and you can find it for everything that is written down. It's not exact, but it is a pretty good indicator of ability and difficulty. It's not a score on something necessarily. It is a level that you have shown on something. Your current Lexile was determined when you took the FastBridge test in the fall and winter. I have those results here. You might have taken it both times. You might have only taken it once. Hopefully I have it for everybody. So you were going to put your Lexile, I will give it to you, and you will put it in your packet. So you want to have that handy when we start in class with that. In general, Lexile bands kind of line up with grade levels, sort of. As you look at the bands, you see lots of overlap. I have roughly highlighted 9th and 10th grade, kind of where the 10th grade band falls. It's at 1050 to 1335, so a little bit over 1,000. But you also see that that's at the middle school, 6th through 8th grade level, and it's also above that. And CCR stands for College and Career Readiness. So from a junior year to college and career ready level, it's 1185 and higher. But so is some of the overlap of the 9 and 10. So these bands are really generous, and the overlap kind of speaks to different indicators as they look at things within that Lexile formula. So let me throw these all up there first. Okay, how do you find the book's level? Metametrics is a company that has leveled books. They have looked at text and put together a huge database within their framework that has titles and Lexile levels in there, Predicts and assesses how difficult the text is based on word frequency, like how often certain words are used. Some of those are referred to as sight words, words we see all the time, very common words. Some of them are more obscure words. And also the sentence strength, which if you go to Metametrics, it talks much more about what that means, but it's kind of the strength of a sentence in terms of the complexity of it and the length of it and so on. There's some different factors in there. Lexile.com is the website that you would go to and type in a title if you need to. Also, other places you can look. In our classroom library, which will be on carts and on shelves in my room, you will see them when you come in. There's a label on the classroom library books that give you the Lexile level. You also can go to Amazon.com, you can go to Goodreads, or if you want to just go to Lexile.com and type in, from this pull-down menu of tools, find a book, and from there you type in your title here in the quick search bar, and it'll tell you what the Lexile is. It's a free website. You don't have to join anything. You don't have to save anything. That's another way to find it if you cannot, or you can also ask me to help you, and I'm happy to help. So in terms of some parameters for your book, okay, I've already told you a couple things about it. It's got to be one you're interested in reading. It's got to be one you haven't read before. Then once you have your Lexile, The book you are going to read should be within 100 points of your Lexile level. Okay? The caveat is bullet number 2. If you're over 1,000, if your Lexile is over 1,000, and a ton of you are, and some of you are super close, you need to either find a book itself that is over 1,000, like you, or it's got to be over 250 pages, or it could be both. Okay, so that just means that is a book at your level. Like you're not picking a Dr. Seuss easy book, or you're not picking a book that you read in 6th grade kind of thing. Okay, so especially like this, we still want to build in some challenge for you, and this is how you are doing that yourself, and this is how I kind of have you accountable for it with a couple of these parameters. So look at the back of the book for that Lexile. Go to Lexile.com, Amazon.com, Goodreads. You have some options of where you can find the Lexile of a book. Some other things to look for. How do you find a book you like? You might want to look at the genre. That's the category of the book it is. Think about the stuff you watch. What kind of stuff do you like? Is it scary, romantic, funny, realistic? Some of that kind of, those kind of categories that you like in what you watch might be what you also like to read. In the classroom library, on the label, we also have the genre on there. And some of the books in my room are also going to be sorted by that. Miss Cope next door to me and I kind of share our classroom libraries because that just builds a bigger library. And you will see it, some of them have bins that say sports books or horror books. So some of them are already kind of sorted that way. Or you can see some of them are alphabetical. They're organized in different ways. But we'll spend some time going through those to help you have a really good match. Again, because I want you to be successful in this unit. You might want to look by author. Who wrote the last book you liked or someone you heard of that someone else read and recommends. If you go to Goodreads or Amazon also and you have a book that you've heard of or that you liked in the past, it will recommend other books for you. So those are a couple other tools to kind of keep in mind as well. You also can access thousands and thousands of other titles that we don't have physically in our classroom library or the media center digitally by looking at ebooks. You go to the chsrdl.org page, go to this icon, Mac and Via, and it's pretty intuitive. You should be logged in with your school account and you can search by different things, same thing, genre, by author. You can find it digitally and then you can read it either probably on your phone if you want to, because it'll show you the text there, or on your Chromebook. So you can use technology to do that. It will show you the text as screen though, if that's something that you prefer. Finally, we also have a couple of free websites. There are pay-per purchasing titles as well, which we do not participate in, but there's also some audiobooks. These audiobooks at these two websites are limited. Blueford High has a certain Lexile level, has the books online as well, the print, and then also has it being read. The first website, esl.bits, is also a website that has a lot of classics and a lot of a handful of some newer titles. It's just really random to me. I'm not sure how they decide what gets on that website. But keep in mind, it's a reading comprehension unit, not just a listening comprehension unit. So kind of keep that in mind. These websites as well show you the text as well as have it read to you. But otherwise, it's a reading unit. That's kind of what you need to demonstrate. So that is what I need to see you doing, is reading. So a couple things to keep in mind. Take your time. We'll spend some time in class doing this. I will help you as much as I can, as much as you ask me. Look at author, genre, check out your Lexiles. I'll give you yours. Check out the length based on your Lexile. Read through, flip through some of the books. You'll have some activities to do that and kind of force you to be with some print. And then just be honest with yourself. What is a book that you want to read, you have access to, and are going to be with for about 4 weeks? So with that, I wish you luck.